and welcome to the Raw Review. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of Raw. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. We do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on wrestle culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett this week to review last night's Raw and the go-home show ahead of Saturday night's main event.
Another win for SmackDown, wasn't it? Bloody hell. This wasn't very good. There was some all right action in that main event. Some nice things to say. Moment of, look at this old 2023 Raw Ski tag main event, having a nice time, hot building stuff. Elsewhere, I don't like this venue. I don't like this building. WrestleMania 12, WrestleMania 2000, last night's Monday Night Raw. The Anaheim Pond has bad law. No, I'm not. So I was thinking about it when there was one of the promos in front of one of those Mighty Ducks insignias, and I was just like, that building was never good at the Fed.
The bogey team.
Yeah, it's a bogey building.
Bogey building.
Tess was saying, wasn't he? He's like, Shawn Michaels won the title here. Triple H retained at WrestleMania 2000. I was like, that's one way of looking at it.
Yeah, bogey building. Bogey booking. Apparently, this was not a good show.
Oh, this was so. Oh my god, this was flat, boring. Who cares? I tell you what, right? And I'm not taking the piss here. I went out for dinner with my folks last night, had a beer. That's enough to just make me feel tired, especially I did a lot of writing yesterday, so I was just pretty exhausted. So I was just on the couch. I had another night to myself that ends in a few days. With big light on, my book, in my hands, just like that, and it 25 past 8:30, it just kept dropping on my head. So I was falling asleep, and I picked it back up, and I was like, oh, you're falling asleep, you idiot. So I went to sleep at 8:30.
Wow.
Pretty much in my clothes. Woke up, what? At 2:30.
Oh.
And it's like my body's telling me, hey, dickhead, yeah, you're fine. I'm like, I'm not. Well, I won't be later on. So 8:30 till 2:30. It's not that bad a shift.
People 6 hours?
Yeah, people who go to bed at midnight, they can crack this. What's your problem? I was like, I don't want to be up this.
No.
So I tried to go to sleep, couldn't. Put some one of those YouTube compilations, 12 hours relaxing music. And it sounded a bit ominous to me. You ever tried them?
Not that specific music, but those long YouTube videos.
Or lo-fi beats.
Yeah, I don't mind them.
Maybe I'll just try lo-fi beats to study to.
Yeah, that kind of soft stuff.
Instead of just this thing that's apparently designed to make you go to sleep, because I'm just really ominous and
someone's rat-tat-tatting at your door. I was like,
it's not that. It's just it's more ominous and ethereal. It's no, I just want to be. I don't know, it's not relaxing at all. So I was like, right, what time is it? Oh, it's only 3:10. I was like, I'll tell you what, the replay is probably just dropped. I'll put this on the telly on a lowish volume, and I know the Fed will come through for me. And within 20 minutes, I had this weird sort of so what I do, I have to set an alarm. So what if I sleep until midday? This has never happened in my entire life. But I put the alarm on for 6:30 or whatever, and just so I know I've got the safety net. And I just woke up and I'm like, main event ski. Oh, yes. I've had about 7 hours then. So I had about 5, and then I was watched what I'd missed. It sent me to sleep. It quite literally sent me to sleep. And that is some feat, because when my body tells me you've had between 6 and 7 hours, and that is the maximum, it's like, right, okay, get up. Thank you, Triple H. Thank you. This was genuinely minimal story development, minimal hype, or true hooks for you've kind of got to watch Saturday night's main event, you idiot. And then just a litany, a procession of 3-star matches, if that.
Yeah. I quite enjoyed the matches on this show. A couple of matches I really actually enjoyed the wrestling part of Monday Night Raw.
I did genuinely like the main event. The rest, less so.
Look, I will say that I can't disagree with you. There were elements in each match where I'm thinking, that's not bad, ruffling the hair of the Fed. But come on, That's not you, this.
No.
One, it's not you. Two, it's not so good that I can enjoy it because I'm not being funny. Like, if I want to watch a load of matches on free TV that are going to be good, I'll just watch AEW instead.
Yeah.
From what year? I have got something to make people stick around, though. It's not just going to be a moan fest.
Well, don't tell them what it is yet. Just tell them that it's a new feature.
Yes, that's all I'm going to say. It's a new feature.
And I will say this, it is considerably better than the Raw Riddle. And it's not,
That's fair.
it's not
Big
another
words,
riddle.
big
It's
words.
not another riddle either.
Yeah,
It's not just another
rematched
riddle.
it.
Yeah.
A character might arrive with 3 certain references to
Yes.
Right, let's get into Raw because we start with a big recap of obviously what happened last week. And then we see the vacant World Heavyweight title sat in the ring. And out comes Jey Uso.
Fast forward 4 minutes. No, I did watch this actually. Usually I fast forwarded 4 minutes, but I'm thinking, right, Jey Uso is going to be doing 4 minutes of this minimum. I'm going to fall asleep. I can feel it.
1 word, 5 letters. Sleep.
But then, oh God, that's my notes up here. He gets into the ring and I can't actually remember what he did after that.
Well, what he did was with his hands, he went, and then we all eat it again. For
10 minutes, great.
First.
He gets on the mic very cleverly and says, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw." He said, "I've got a lot of people in my ears these days. Roman, Jimmy, everybody's mama is in my ear. But I don't give a damn what they think about me. It's just me, Oos. I'm the #1 contender. It's just me Saturday night. I'm going to be the new World Heavyweight Champion, 2-time. You all know how it goes by now. 4 letters, 1 word. But then CM Punk interrupts before he can reveal what those 4 letters spell.
Very clever because it sounds a little bit like the feedback. Maybe they should swap this thing over instead of it could be
Well, that's the tag team music taken care of. If that ever happens.
that is the what they call it again, mashup.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Out comes Punk. And then, oh God, I've messed my notes up again. Because he gets in the ring and I can't remember what he does.
Well, so then he went, and in the back it didn't seem like they were ready for this one, but anyway, eventually.
Yeah.
And they played the music again.
The mind games have started ahead of Saturday night.
Allegedly.
How can you play mind games when you do not have a mind? In the case of Jey Uso, the guy is absolutely mince thick.
Just a Rubik's Cube with no colours on. Done it. Mix it up, still done it.
So, Punk says, all right. Apologies for stealing your stuff. 4 letters, 1 word, Punk.
What?
Anything?
No, it's not anything actually, Punk.
I loved
Trying to
that
flog
top
that hoodie
he was
when he
wearing.
it was really
Yeah,
nice,
yeah.
and it was like, yeah.
I think he needs to shave.
shift-
He needs to cut that hair and look
shift
hot.
some units.
He needs to cut that hair and look a little bit dangerous again.
I don't know how the turkey hair works, right? But like, when he comes back,
Whenever he
with,
says it, my brain immediately thinks, oh, not like going and get your teeth done.
when he comes back with it all turkified, like it's massive, and then he seems to acknowledge it and like trims it down a little bit. But like, it's as if like, what's that? Is it that game where like or the Play-Doh thing where you push it and it all comes out the man's
Oh,
face?
yeah.
It's like he sneezes and a bunch of the turkey hair goes like that. And it's another, it's back again. It's like it's grown back from last. I know he's always had good growth, and I think now he's getting help. But like, keep a trim on it, mate. Like, just you've got loads of hair and makeup there backstage.
More from her later.
Conspiracy corner. Wrestlers don't just use their attire to tell stories in their segments, promos, angles, and matches. They often use it to send a message about where their head's at, or even if they're locked in or not, or whatever. Is CM Punk almost deliberately wearing this sort of like weird bouffant feathered hairdo so that he can say, oh, you can tell back then, you know, I wasn't really checked in, I wasn't really dialed in, I knew I wasn't doing my best work. The old CM Punk just felt like he wasn't there. And he can say this when he's got like the buzz cut or the shaven head or whatever. He's like, oh, you're seeing the real CM Punk now. It's just odd that he's wearing this particular hairdo and it's getting a little bit more coiffed by the week when he's doing some pretty... I mean, I know he's fighting for the world title, the second one, the one that isn't undisputed. What a nonsense that is. And now, man, he doesn't feel like he's completely passionate about this current phase of his career. And I wonder if the hair's a little tell that he's thinking, right, okay. And again, you think, Sidgwick, this is conspiratorial nonsense. Well, you're in the corner now. Deal with it. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. I said it last week and you thought I was bargaining because I said he just flicks it on and off like a light switch. Like, this is the sort of...
No, he should be doing good work every week if you're an all-time great.
He should be. But
he isn't.
No, I'm saying he's not. It's just the fact that he can is all the more annoying because he will turn it back on in WrestleMania season and all of this will be this, like, comparison point, you know? Like, maybe we'll for
he's having just his own off-season.
A little bit.
Because he's clever enough to realise that you can't be engaging all year round.
Yeah, he's like creating that own valley so that the peak feels higher when we arrive again at like Royal Rumble season or something. I don't love it. We'll get to this in a second, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he's a guy that does it consciously with gear and hair and looks and all that kind of stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's that, like, you know, telling other people that know that he's...
Yeah.
Not now.
Yeah.
I got some thoughts on this when he's finished his promo.
Is that a bad year, CM Punk?
Won the world title, mate, so I got me that bad.
Where you only won for what?
Where he got screwed out of it because we all got tricked by Seth Rollins' injury.
Fake.
We all got fooled.
As fake as your love of WWE.
I'm going to do my best not to get in your personal space tonight, he says to Jay. Because Saturday, that's all you're going to get. Me and your grill.
Promo, then.
Before we get to Saturday, let's talk about tonight. Right now, I'm happy for you. You're finally listening to you, not listening to all the noise. Jimmy, Roman. Look, it's no secret that me and Jay are friends, which makes it harder for me to lace them up against you. Always try to put myself in my opponent's shoes, but I've never been in your situation. I've always listened to myself. I follow my heart, listen to my gut, believe in myself. It's easy to do that when you're winning, a lot harder to do when you're losing or you're about to lose. Look, I know you got what it takes. I watched you throw your brother over the top rope. Congratulations on winning the Battle Royal. And don't boo him. It's well within the rules. Every man for himself. Jay's just showing everybody he's got what it takes. But how far are you willing to go, Jay? I'm not asking Big Jim's brother. Certainly not asking Little Roman. I'm asking main event Jey Uso. How far are you willing to go? Because you're not the only one who needs to be champion again. The small amount of time I held on to that title at SummerSlam after besting Gunther was way too short. I need to be champion like I need air in my lungs. I know how far I'm willing to go. But Saturday night's main event, Jey Uso versus CM Punk, when you're face down on the mat after I've knocked out your grill, and you look up and realize you're in a situation that you can't yeet yourself out of.
One good line. Well done, Phil.
Look at me. How far are you willing to go? And Jey Uso says, let's go, Punk.
He said, Jey Uso says, shut up, you pube.
Let's go, Uso.
Left.
I've been in deep waters before. I know how to swim, but you're going to do what you always do. You're going to spin the block, have these people thinking that you're the man to get behind, right? That's what you do. Guess what? Screw you, Punk. Yeah, because Saturday night, I'll show you who the best in the world is, Oos. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.
Like, where to start on this, right? I'll tell you what I thought about this promo exchange and then what I thought about, like, what it means, what the aftermath of all of this is. This was in the sort of the premise trading they were doing. Neither of them leaving first gear. Like, for Jey Uso's last word to be this, I found
pathetic.
Pretty pathetic. That was the exact word I was going to use. We are for a change when it comes to the Punk are on the exact same page. I found like the fact that this wasn't to set up Punk's next reply and then Jey Uso's last swing and then Punk's final lines. Well, initially shocking because what I'm watching here is just a disappointment, like sort of on quite a large scale for a vacant world title go-home program.
Serves you right for having expectations for Jey Uso.
You might be right there. But then that's sort of the problem, is that if you've arrived at a situation where Jey Uso so obviously can't hang with CM Punk in a promo battle, don't put them in a promo battle. Do the face-to-face and then have CM Punk so comprehensively wipe the floor with him that Jey Uso has to, like, I don't know, sucker punch him or something. That, like, don't end with the last word. End with a shot that, like, CM Punk wouldn't have seen coming because he's like, screw you, Punk. That would have been way more effective if he just punched him. And then that's how Punk realised there was actually a bit of fire burning Jey Uso. And he is, like, off the rails a little bit in his attempt to win this title. And yeah, they're mates, but look what I've just done to you, you know? I think there were so many more effective ways to illustrate the point that wasn't even that well made, which is that, like, Jey Uso's like a little bit confused, a little bit all over the shop, but he can lock in and he can focus for Saturday night's main event. Punk, meanwhile, was absolutely fine in his delivery of a pretty, I don't know, vapid and like it was all a bit
autopilot.
Yeah, it was all a bit sort of limp. I felt in terms of like the premise he was trying to establish here, because Jey Uso had already set. This is the thing, he had so little material to work with here. Jey Uso had already said that stuff. Like, I know what you all think. I know you think I've got Roman in my head and Jimmy in my head, but I haven't. I'm ready for Saturday. And then Punk kind of comes out and just repeats that. Like, are you listening to Jimmy? Are you listening to Roman? Or are you ready for it, you know? And this is narratively doesn't even hold together that well, because here we are in 2025 when Jey Uso won the world title at WrestleMania, did what CM Punk did, beat Gunther, did it on a bigger show, on a bigger stage, and held the belt for longer. Like, so this is the worst time for CM Punk to be making that specific point, like, about the world title, because Jey Uso had a, you know, like in kayfabe, in fiction, a sort of credible win and run where Punk was only able to just about scrape the win and then immediately lost it. Didn't realise or have enough about him to protect himself from Seth Rollins and his cash-in. And Jey Uso could have said those words, but I sense he's not trusted to deliver that. You know, like, he could have fired back to Punk, which then would have like got under Punk's skin. You know, well, hang on, if we're talking about beating Gunther and like not having our head in a swivel or whatever, like what was in your head at SummerSlam? Because in my head at WrestleMania, it was just about being world champion. And he didn't. There was no sort of ammo back that Punk could then, and then it could get personal, and then it could get a bit nasty. All of that is to say that to me was so many more entertaining ways to do this than what they did. And it felt, I'm sure this isn't exactly how it played out, but it felt to me, the only thing that was sold to me about Saturday was that 10 seconds before CM Punk went out there to cut his promo, he was told, it's going to be a schmoz on Saturday.
See you later, guys.
Treat yourself. Yeah, Triple H like gets into a speeding car and leaves. And like, I love CM Punk, and I love to watch him like be the pro wrestler that I know him to be. Sell me something. Tell me a story and sell me something. And the only thing he sold me here was Phil Brooks' total lack of faith in this program and outcome. A kind of worst case scenario, really. Like, he doesn't, like, he's flogged some absolute crap in the past, CM Punk, you know, and it's part of the job. Like, it's more wrestlers should accept that sometimes you've got to stare in the mirror and try to sell something that you simply do not believe for the good of the game, for the good of the cause. And Punk it felt to me like he just could not be arsed there. He just was not at the races. The best thing he sold was the idea that Saturday's in a schmoz and a nice white hoodie. Like, he sold those two things quite effectively, but that was clearly not the expressed purpose of this opening segment, not by a long chalk. Surely everybody watching this was that it? Like, I can't imagine anybody came out of this thinking anything other than that. Like, the people in the building would have been hoping that he's putting the trunks on for like a dark match afterwards, because if that's your lot from Punker, you're feeling pretty let down.
This is poor. Very, very poor. I wonder if what they were going for, and like, I was going to say, is it fair on Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, former world champion, to compare him to, I don't know, fellow main eventers in Cody Rhodes and CM Punk? But that sense of, they established a few things here that you can draw parallels with that the 2025 verbal showdown between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, where Punk was like, are you crumbling under that weight and pressure of being a world champion and all the rest of it? So it's kind of like an analogous situation in that Punk was like, you know, getting back to the tops quite hard. I'm having my struggles with that as well. We're friends, but you're taking bad advice and you're mentally not with it like I am right now. So there's a certain similarity between those two verbal showdowns. But like, I know they're friends. I've seen them fraternizing at ice hockey games. It looked like they just met. There was no chemistry really between them, like, at all. And like, so they're basically, I think the idea was, right, we're friends, but we got to promote a fight here, and we're going to have one. So it's a babyface match. Who's going to play heel situationally to get the goddamn job done? That was kind of the thing. And then it was meant to, presumably, have this tension where, yeah, they're friends, but Jey Uso doesn't seem like he's friendly, and he's going to be the one to shut up, you pube, and like be the heel in the upcoming match. Such a shocking way. It didn't feel any emotion. There was no tension. There was no suspense. It didn't feel like it could go awry. This is just a load of absolute nothing, quite poorly delivered. Jey Uso stinks at this point at virtually every facet of the job. I can understand why he got over in the first place. I'm not blind. It's not my thing, but I'm not blind. Jesus. But this version of like Jey Uso, his story is done. His story is done. Send him back to the goddamn mid-card because his story's done. Him taking on weighty material and in a conflict is just so rubbish. And CM Punk, he is having a pretty shocking year. If you add it all up, right, he was pretty good in the verbals for the WrestleMania stuff.
He was awesome in Elimination Chamber in the Rumble. Like, he was fantastic
in ring,
in those spots there.
In ring, but in terms of character, story, you know, the more important things.
Oh no, I meant the builds. Matches were great. It's Punker, but you know, like the good in the Gunther build.
No, he wasn't. That's the point I was going to make.
Good in the Gunther match.
No.
Yeah, he was. You're forgetting.
I'm not forgetting. And you're
okay. You misremember.
And you're going to let me make my point. It is my memory, which hasn't failed me, that Punk and Gunther had a face-to-face that felt like a huge anticlimax, and it was like way shorter than you would have expected, because maybe in part the match wasn't the match. It was all about the continuation of CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, which has also bogged his year down. Underwhelming with Gunther, certainly not what you'd expect. Was it promo of the year?
No.
Okay.
I admire that you keep these high standards of CM Punk. It means a lot to me that you still think that much of him. I do too.
I know. He was hopeless against John Cena.
Disagree.
He was embarrassing in that program with John Cena.
I don't like that. I got no time for that.
Really, I thought that, oh, Gunther, this is the return to form. No, didn't happen. It was just pretty beige and anticlimactic. And
Match kicked ass.
I didn't like it at all.
You didn't?
Nah.
I love the match.
I thought he was blown out of his arse, gassed to smithereens, and he called it selling. It was indistinguishable to, you know, it needed 10 minutes shaved off it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And this stuff does.
Yeah, everything does. That in particular. And this stuff with Jey Uso, like, it just, this combined with the nice hair and the mellow attitude, it's like, they were doing the jokes of like desk job era Phil when he signed with WWE without giving him a chance. He threw it back in people's faces with how dialed he was into the Drew feud and how like he had the old fire. This is desk job Punk. He knows.
It's not been on par with 2024 or his AEW run. I fully accept that.
I reckon he's been actively boring this year, and like, well done, Triple H. I didn't think CM Punk throughout my entire wrestling fandom, in terms of his in-ring work, the artistry, the character, the backstage conduct, has been the single most interesting person to follow. There's a reason why WhatCulture Wrestling and every other YouTube channel or whatever was intent on sort of willing him back into existence via the casting spell of a thumbnail. Because everything he does is fascinating. You need to see him back. He needs to come back. He's missed. Like, he could say next to nothing, get a YouTube video out of that, get 10 upcoming opponents for CM Punk if he signs for AEW, all that stuff. He is now a pretty boring, bland talker and character. Well done, Levesque. I didn't think it was possible, buddy, but you dreamed the dream. You dreamed the dream, and you've made it happen.
That fills me full of warmth. I like my part of the furniture guys. Part of the furniture Punk is all right with me. Like, that's the
but
that's like, I appreciate. You want both. Like, don't get me wrong. You want the points at which he is this transgressive and dynamic figure. Like, I absolutely want both. I think that's an impossible standard to upkeep 52 weeks a year. So the idea of him being part of the furniture
he could just be in form. He could
but like,
he could be putting somebody.
Form his temporary class as permanent. That's a Punk thing, isn't it? Like, he's
he
that.
Didn't invent that.
No, I'm not saying he invented it, but that, like, you can apply that to CM Punk. I think like the time in the industry sort of highlight everything you've just described. Highlights that like the class is permanent, but the form with CM Punk like dips like everybody else's. Like this, I'll tell you what though. This was weak. By the way, we're on the same page. This was rubbish. This was going to be Seth Rollins. So another reason I think to pick at this segment a little bit is that obviously there's a pivot that's happened here, which is possibly another reason why I'm really interested to what happens with the world title, but I'm not interested in either of these men winning it.
Yeah.
That's my current situation with this Saturday Night's Main Event. Like, what's going on? But I don't sense that Seth Rollins would have lost.
No.
If this was Rollins and Punk before he got injured. So this is the pivot, and this is the choice, and Jey Uso stepped in to take the role, and it fits enough with the story they're telling with him. But, like, if it's so passionless now because it's a pivot and it wasn't the original plan, again, it's on Triple H and it's on the creative team to not make it feel that way. You know, like somebody's gotten injured. You can't hide from it. There's had to be a change in the plans. And I don't know, I feel like maybe this is just looking at it from like an optimistic fan point of view. You should see these things as like an exciting opportunity. You should put Kurt Angle in the flak jacket and just see what that looks like.
Triple H's mind can't come up with this stuff.
Like this is not a thrilling, like alternative arrangement to the original plan when there were ways to do that. You know, it's like nobody wants people to get injured, but we talk about all the time. Like there's so many bloody wrestlers on these rosters now, and it's North American wrestling feels really bloated that when somebody is suddenly gone, you kind of have to be brutal and look at that as an opportunity creatively for the wrestlers that want to step into the role, all that kind of thing. And this felt like the outcome of all of that, and that's disappointing. That's you treat it as the opportunity it is. You know, wish Seth Rollins the best in his recovery, and then look at the situation and be like, right, Plan A is gone. How do we do our best to make Plan B look as captivating as what we had in mind for Plan A?
I've been reliable.
They're miles off it. They're miles off it. With this
I've been reliably informed via WWE Unreal that they're such geniuses that this shouldn't pose a problem to them whatsoever. One more thing before we move on, or you offer your thoughts. I'm guessing you liked it.
It wasn't to the standards I was expecting.
Okay, I was half taking the piss. The idea of Jey Uso slowly turning heel and CM Punk sort of selling for that at Saturday Night's Main Event, if that's how it goes. Probably won't. It'll probably go 9 minutes, you know.
Hope so. Yeah. It's like, there's a, again...
It's a shame it's happening, sorry. It's a shame it's happening at Saturday Night's Main Event, these really abbreviated, punchy shows, and not... For my Schadenfreude tastes, it's a shame it's not happening at a big PLE, because the idea of them telling a 20-minute odyssey into Jey Uso's psyche would be hilarious, but sadly it's going to be a pretty back and forth that I expect, with Jey doing one bad thing at the ending, whether it's conclusive or not.
Following this, we head to the clubhouse. Dominic Mysterio runs in, the real star of the show, let's be honest. He says, guys, we've got a problem. They all just look at him. He says, I think this... Adam Pearce guy's got some sort of vendetta against me. No one contenders match, Rusev and Penta. And Raquel's like, well, to be fair, if you didn't cheat all the time, you wouldn't have the problem. Dom's like, what? I've never cheated a day in my life. Now I've got to face the winner at Saturday Night's Main Event. What are we going to do, guys? Finn Balor's like, we're not going to do anything. JD's like, yeah, we are going to get back our tag titles that you cost us last week. And JD tells Dom he's on his own. Dom's like, I was going to call someone. Heads off, and Raquel reminds Roxanne she needs to focus on the Nikki Bella match tonight.
I'm going to compare Dominic Mysterio to The Rock here, because
yes, finally,
that you could be reasonable to call the misadventures of the Judgment Day in the Clubhouse a perpetually looping premise, right? And that was kind of the case in the Nation of Domination's faction wars with whoever were the groups of the era. But you can produce such thrilling, unstoppable character development within that loop that it sort of makes it worthwhile. So Finn Balor and JD McDonough, and to a lesser extent Raquel and Liv, kind of just running from room to room like the Scooby-Doo gang. It is a familiar beat, but the character development of Dominic Mysterio, in my opinion, justifies it, because they do repeat the spot a lot. They repeat the back and forth. Their lives as the ones that are contained to the 2 hours of Monday Night Raw every week of going back and forth to Adam Pearce offices and then having matches. Like, I acknowledge that is something that you just kind of can run on a loop, because Dominic Mysterio's involvement with it validates it for me. He appears on screen with them and the whole thing is elevated. They bounce off whatever scheme or idea or situation he finds himself in this week. I fantasy book Dominic Mysterio matches all the time. I think about plot developments of Dominic Mysterio's life all the time. I think about his WrestleMania trajectory all the time.
It's one of the big success stories of this year.
Like, this character...
I need to interject.
Okay.
All the time.
Well, I'm watching Raw. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And in this line of work.
Okay.
When wrestling is on the brain, Dominic Mysterio is right at the top of it.
It just reminds us when, like, you're 17 and you're exchanging love letters and you're saying, I gotta think about you all the time.
Exchanging them.
I had one exchange.
I sent them. Actually, I didn't. What am I even saying? Why would I lie in a podcast? I didn't even know either of those things.
I wanted to impress upon her my ability to write prose.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense. I'd fall for you. I've read your books.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I think about Dominic Mysterio's career all the time.
In the sense that I'm a big wrestling fan, yes.
Right, okay. It's just those all the time. It's like...
Less so on a Saturday, because obviously you're watching SmackDown. Superstar.
Have you got a crush on the Fed?
It's not a crush, mate. It's a lifelong,
marriage.
It's a lifelong love affair.
It's a marriage. So you have the affair with the missus, but you're married to the Fed.
Yeah, what came first?
And like, on the honeymoon, as Adele's watching the Miz cash in, she realises that she's the other woman.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
You know?
She knew what she was signing up for.
Yeah. This is, again, like, I don't even like, a bit like The Rock and Ken Shamrock in 1998. I don't particularly care for the feud he's involved in, to be quite honest, with this Dominic Mysterio thing. But
In the chair shot, though.
when he's out, yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed, but it's still pretty good.
On his knees going, come on! And Rock's like, hey, I'm going to get into this.
And Rock just gives it one of these. Hoorah! Boom!
Yeah! And then, like, backstage, like, we can't encourage that part of Aldueno's personality. 8 months later.
Let's go to the Rumble, baby.
Let's go for you, Mick. He's it.
Yeah.
He's it. Like, it's the timing.
Love how, sorry, they go backstage. I don't know, the camera cuts backstage and, like, the documentary that is WWF 1998. And, like, there's people going, Jesus, that was too far. You cannot do that. Vince is like, grab the notepad out. Mick, January 1999. Times 10. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then we got to the number one contenders match, Penta versus Rusev. We saw members of LA Galaxy and O'Shea Jackson in the crowd. The winner of this obviously gets the title match.
I wonder if I'm to take seriously his next critique of AEW. Probably not, no.
For a split second, I thought he had an AEW belt on.
Same here.
He had like a belt on with no WWE, and I was like, what's that? I was like,
Mark title or whatever.
Just another thicko, isn't he?
Oh, he's one of the worst.
So many thickos.
He is one of the worst.
Wrestling. I'm aware of Glass Houses and Throwing Stones and that, but he's so thick. Like,
I love his
comes out with these crap, thick, idiot takes.
Yeah.
Loads of the liars and the thickos. They're absolutely toxic in this space.
He's got a certain, like, innocence to him where he's too thick to grift, I think. So, like,
I agree.
If you look at certain, Twitter users who, let's just say it's Raj Giri, they compare, like, NXT bad ratings to AEW Dynamite bad ratings. One of them kind of looks better than the other, even though they're equally poor performances, yeah? These people know what they're doing. Like, El Hijo del Ice Cube, as he is known in certain circles, does not. Like, he's got this, like, wants it to be better and, like, comes up with excuses for them. It's almost like, she's not calling us back, but she's just busy at work. This kind of thing. Like, one of his famed tweets is, hear me out. Just like never a good start. Hear me out. Yeah. We're getting it. Everyone's losing their ass on ticket prices, and it's not good for the fans. What if them doing Saudi and Mania is a way for them to get loads more money than they ordinarily would, and then they'll reduce the ticket prices after that? What if he's trying to kill two birds with one stone?
I figured it out, guys.
I figured it out.
Is it in Raj Giri's Fast National Suites? I'm sorry if this is really niche, but it just always makes me think that I can't remember the film.
You can't apologize at this point on this podcast for niche content.
Good point, but you never know what people's timelines look like on social media and stuff.
It's just like hear the boys, don't they?
But is it when Bruce Willis is trying to escape in Pulp Fiction? He gets in the car and then immediately crashes into the wall and spews up, or is that there's a film or a TV moment where somebody tries to drive away, is so all over the shop that they just immediately crash the car, be sick off the side of that. That's what I think of when Raj Giri posts Fast Nationals, because he's been sent them and tweets so quickly and makes a bunch of errors and just reveals what's going on, reveals that somebody sent him I've got a page of information about collisions quarter hours that the world needs right now, like that, and it's just out.
He's got more deletes than Matt Hardy him. Honestly, the amount of times you click on it. All right, what's Giri said these days? Click. Oh, it's been deleted already. It's funny, right, how AEW will do, and again, I don't like getting dragged into this. I'll move on quite quickly, but it's in my mouth. I need to get it out. Every time AEW does something like a pretty shocking booking decision or a poorly attended show, and Christ, I will literally be the first to bury them. Or a pay-per-view stunt that, you can just go, all right, okay, let's sensationalize that. Do any of them say, oh God, the Raw was really tedious last night? And that becomes the talking point of the day? Never.
So it was Rusev versus Penta. Rusev jumps him to start, but gets sent outside. There's a running flip dive from Penta, who also hits a leaping backstabber following that for a 2 count. Gets a baseball slide dropkick, goes for another, but gets sent into the steps, takes to a break. When we come back, Rusev's going after the mask, but Penta dodges a charge in the corner. It's that corner handstand kick for a near fall. But he jumps off the top into a huge Machka kick from Rusev for a 2 count. Rusev wants the accolade. Penta, though, counters with a Penta driver for a near fall. And as they're fighting on their knees, in slides Rayo and Bravo Americano, along with El Grande Americano, who jump both Rusev and Penta. No winner, so therefore, obviously, no opponent for Dirty Dom even, at Saturday night's main event. Rusev dumps the Rayo and Bravo, and Penta wants to attack El Grande, but he gets saved.
I think I sometimes fail to articulate why occasionally I like moves matches more on Raw than, say, Dynamite, other than very obvious biases and tastes, right? Rusev is a prime example. I really, really need to give a toss about the character. Need it. More than I need them to do cool moves. I need to know something. I need something in the eyes that I can just connect to for that 9-10 minutes, whatever it is. Hence my problem with a lot of AEW at present, and often WWE matches as booked by Triple H. Rusev right now is connecting with me after a long time where I was what you signed him back for? What have you actually signed him back for? If you've got nothing for him,
done.
Yeah, if you've got nothing for him, why have you bothered? You're not going to book the Redeemer with a conviction that AEW didn't.
Or the ability.
Or the ability. He might not work it. Rusev.
That's the poorly fumbled alarm.
Yeah.
If you can hear that coming through your speakers.
But good news. I think Rusev has maybe understood the assignment a little more coming back and has realised that he's best fitting into a mid-card than trying to work his way into a main event. Is that patronising? What?
It's just funny. He had the exact same deal over there.
Yeah, but you're just a bigger star doing it in WWE, aren't you? That's not a shoot or a bit. You're a much bigger star, being in a wrestler's mind, especially being a mid-carder, getting on the WrestleMania card, fighting for the mid-card belts. There's a gravitas is unfair. AEW's a very, 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 very it's a Pepsi Coke challenger brand size thing.
Prestige.
But, yeah, that's the word I'm after. There is a prestige to it, and I think Rusev has started to realise that. Alistair Black started jobbing towards it, so there is something to this. And I don't know, maybe that's what I'm seeing in him. And I'm seeing something that's like, you don't want it, but you want something. And I like that in you. And like, it seems to like lit a bit of a fire under him, and I got more out of him. This was still a bit of a baggy match that I needn't have bothered watching, really, because
fun, I thought,
because the sense of finish was coming. But there's been a bit of spark to Rusev's work for me of late that I'm connecting with. And Penta, I say this all the time, that I bore myself saying it, but I can't believe how well he's mastered what it is to be WWE rank and file and be fun with it and be hot with it, because there is such a place for that. Like, has he had a word with Rey Mysterio and said, I am finally going to be what this company has been chasing for 20 years and I'm going to be the next you? Tell me how. Teach me everything, because Rey Mysterio doesn't get pushed all the time, but he maintains that relationship with the audience, and he maintains like the pops he gets to the moves he does, like with this timeless brilliance. And in a year, I'm so impressed with how Penta's harnessed that. It's his for the taking, potentially. Like, if he wants it, people love him. I love him. And I see no title run for him, I don't think, but he's a hell of a challenger of the month when a heel champion needs somebody. It's going to be Penta.
Got different brains, you and I. I had to see Rusev just slumming it, doing pretty passable at best work. I will say one thing about this match. The finish to which was telegraphed beyond belief. Everyone with a brain, even a weird one, knew it was going to some kind of no contest. We said it and we did a bit about it on the preview yesterday. I'll say one nice thing about it, because it's just a terrible, predictable mid-card program every single fucking week to the next week. And I get told relentlessly that by WWE, I get told this, the finesse of the storytelling machine, it is predictable, not exactly big feeling slop in this mid-card. We've guessed this every single step of the way. It's the most templated build to a WWE triple threat match I can remember in quite some time. So it's
for Dom, though. Like, it's all in service of the Dominic Mysterio
everything's in service
push.
of someone. It's still crap. You can push him without, like, making obvious every step of the way what the next thing I want to watch on telly is going to be.
I think it's been fun seeing how creative he's been with the finishes recently.
There's been a bit of it, but we've sat here every single week saying, all right, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. We should start using our AEW voice for it. Oh, can't look past Lady Frost here. I think she's going to lose. Let's start doing that. Right.
But if it's in service of a fun character, now I'm going to push back on that a little bit, because if it was in service of that AEW looping stuff, if we like the conglomeration.
I don't like that either. I was just
liked
making a point that we have rinsed this for how painfully predictable it's been every single step of the way. Dom, you say it's in service of a good character. I will let you speak. I know I'm being rude. He's been over every week since 2022. Like, look, this is stabilizing his condition. So I'm not throwing Booker of the Year at Levesque for this. He's over regardless of this.
I think this is enhancing him. Like, I think it's giving him more to work with. I think it's like it's opened him up to the El Grande Americano cinematic universe. Like, when he started working with them a few weeks ago, I'm with you on the like this looping Penta Rusev thing fundamentally. And I would that comparison is apt as well, like the amount of that you see when we're criticizing it in AEW. But the conglomeration sprung to my mind there, because when we first saw them,
I hate them as well.
But like, remember those first matches where they weren't really named as such?
Yes, and it was better.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, I want another one of these. Like, whatever this big idea is of like, oh, they've added a new mate to the group, and now the 6-man's become the 8-man, this is so fun. When it was fun, like, I was welcoming it. And then ultimately, like, the big idea started to feel less entertaining, and ultimately the matches, the big idea is so entertaining to me. I feel like you're kind of feeding the machine here. Like, you're putting a load of stuff in, and the outcome is Dominic Mysterio moreover. Like that. And, you know, I completely welcome the accusation that, well, he's just getting his nice Fed gruel. But, like, it sort of powers the machine. Like, it's star-making stuff. Dominic Mysterio will come out of this either as the Intercontinental Champion.
He has been a star for at least 2 years.
But he continues to become a bigger one. It's not like a straight line. Like, the line is going up for Dominic Mysterio.
He's babyface.
And he's babyface now. It's like he's done it all as a heel. The fans at WrestleMania loudly said, right, yes, he's going to be a villainous character, but we want to love this villain. Allow us to fall in love with this villain. And that's been one of the stories of this year, is WWE has very delicately positioned Dominic Mysterio in a way where the fans are being invited to cheer him at the point that and I think it'll be with Liv Morgan, I think at the point at which he chooses Liv Morgan and he finally takes like an honourable stance for once in his grotty, stinking life. Like, that's throwing babies in the air stuff, you know? A contemporary Gen Z, Savage and Liz, in terms of like, nobody gives a toss about anything, but these two loving each other has actually made people feel something. All of this, what we're watching, is for that. It is.
I think you can accomplish it in a different way other than us sat here going, well, this is what's going to happen. I can't engage with what I'm watching. The actual experience is absolutely flat and uninspiring and predictable. I will say one nice thing about it. I promised I would say something nice about it. When they do these DQ finishes, they have a knack of timing and inserting a really cool move come sequence just before you go. They make it. It's quite impressive, really, considering I hate this kind of finish. Where you go, dickhead, it's just getting good.
Yeah.
Or was it like the Made in Japan?
Yeah.
It's like getting Miro up for it and his bump was no small feat.
You feel robbed.
They're quite good at making you feel robbed with it.
We see Jackie Redmond with LA Knight or LA Polite, I should say, in the back. He basically just wants whoever wins the world title after Saturday. And then we cut to the Vision's locker room. Bron Breakker still can't understand why he and Bronson Reed didn't just go and destroy everyone in the Battle Royal if they weren't allowed to be in it, and then clear the path to the world title. And Paul Heyman says, look, I love your idea, but think about the consequences. You know, Adam Pearce was already pissed off, would have been even more pissed off, would have suspended us indefinitely and made it his mission to make sure Bron Breakker was kept away from the world heavyweight title. And instead of, using that idea on 20 guys, what about just one guy? He says, look, CM Punk and Jey Uso are going to beat each other half to death, and then they're going to show up on Raw, and they are going to be victimized by a true victimizer. You eliminate the other person who's got that idea, basically, and your path to the world heavyweight title will be clear. Breaker's like, I'll have a match with whoever that is. And he's like, well, good news. I've already spoken to Adam Pearce and booked it. Tonight, you will face L.A. Polite.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, no. I want to say something nice about LA Knight, as well as analyse this segment, because it's kind of like unrelated to the match, how it played out. One of the benefits of your main event competition being Jey Uso is that LA Knight talking about the spot he wants feels a bit like a shoot, and I really like that. Like, there remains...
Grab that sign on the way to the ring.
There remains an energy to LA Knight that has existed for all of 2025 where, God damn it, he wants it, believes it, and buys it in himself, and I will continue to buy LA Knight, like, until I'm pretty much definitively told otherwise. Like, the longer he is kept in that main event picture, the more I'll sort of want to fight for him. He does enough. He absolutely does enough as a wrestler. Those criticisms are dead, as far as I'm concerned. Like, you can do those like botchy elbows watching the stream.
I mean, no one cares anymore.
As much as he likes, he can do them. Like, there is enough.
It's Knight and Jay, isn't it?
It's good stuff. And then he cuts these promos, and I just, like, like when he did it's a bit of a sensitive one to talk about, but like when he feuded with The Fiend, right? And it ended up in an Illuminous Mountain Dew match, but he kind of spun out of that by mocking the absurdity of the premise and thrived in the aftermath.
Yeah, he was one of the first to not get any on him, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
from that moment on, you were like, right, well, this is for real, because this guy would have made it work in like 2019 Bad Fed somehow, and he's doing it in this way more functional one, and he can
apart from when he was Max Dupree.
Maybe. Yeah.
And then even then he's spoken to people's necks, which was kind of goat.
That was really funny.
I thought he was quite funny.
Everyone was like,
he got right up there.
Max Dupree. I was like, I prefer obviously, getting him to be this guy. It was the last
weirdly. How was this good, Vince bit?
And like Vince McMahon didn't seem to know that he was doing Max Dupree. Like, he was like, you realise he's just brought his old gimmick over and he'll force it through sooner or later. Like, he's a survivor of like, like the.
We need to do actually. Oh, this is great. And then Maximum Male Models.
Oh my God.
Every other week, a video surfaces on Twitter of like, here's LA Knight when he was 26 in this weird job because he was just desperate to make it.
Yeah.
And he still works every day and I just love that about him.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine at one point, wasn't he?
I would have shot, man. You can fight, like, he'll be like, here he is, singing in a mall in like 2006. Like, it's just, what an insane life of aspiring to be in the position he's in and still wanting to get
Raz and Grand, that's what we're all about, me in LA Knight.
Don't love hustle culture, but like, he's a product of it.
Baby.
You're the most, other than my wife, you're the person who most likes to lie in.
Yeah, but once I've risen, it is Raz and
Christ,
Grand.
Jesus
Christ. Jesus Christ.
Conversely, I'm going to let it play out for now. I have to believe that, again, it's Seth Rollins pivot related, that they had lots more of making Bron Breakker a dip jock idiot loser planned. And they're trying to see that through the vehicle of Paul Heyman, the patronising arsehole. And that's why I'm going to let it play out, because if the grand payoff...
I'm doing this for work.
Okay.
I'll get my phone out for work.
If the grand payoff of Bron Breakker's babyface turn was because you are just absolutely sick of him being talked down to by his heel associates, then they are trying to stay on that path. But I find Paul Heyman's treatment of him at the moment, like, patronising to the point of irritation. But I'm being patient with it. Like, if he thinks, great, Seth's out the way, now I've got the keys to the monster. I get it. I understand the beats. I understand the story. Is he back on terms with Brock Lesnar, and could that result in, like, Lesnar and Bron Breakker getting in some sort of, like, jock off that, like, that Paul Heyman has to be seen as being in the middle of and whatever. I get all that, and I'm trying to extend patience with it, because I really still maintain that, like, I've said it for probably a couple of years now. I think Bron Breakker is unfumbleable.
Yeah.
Nah.
I know you disagree, and I'm happy to be wrong when we see what his level is, but he's always felt unfumbleable to me. And Seth Rollins talking down to him was clearly the pattern, and Paul Heyman has taken that forward. But I find it much harder to watch than I did Seth Rollins. I quite like Seth Rollins as the completely blind to it hair ruffler of Bron Breakker. I'm getting way less joy out of it with Paul Heyman. It's been like, what, 3 weeks? I'm trying to be patient, but I don't like it.
I don't have patience because you're nice to the Fed because you really love it. I don't, so I won't. I just watched a segment of TV and I'm thinking, so Bron Breakker, right, has this, yes, it was forced upon Triple H because, you know, he can't do anything interesting on purpose. There has to be, you can't be proactive as he's reactive, right? When it comes to do something interesting, you laugh.
As it pertains to Seth Rollins doing a cool thing, it screwed up all my booking.
Indeed. I'm not being funny. He didn't. When this was going to happen, you'd have seen it coming, and they just did like a quick concentrated burst of foreshadowing. And it happened because it had to happen because Seth Rollins was out, right? But nonetheless, it happened on TV, and in the main event angle of Raw, and it was the main event angle of Raw, Bron Breakker took out the big top star, right? He was then not put in the Battle Royal, and now he's having a wrestling match against LA Knight, who he's been like, it's verging on Hurt Syndicate, Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander stuff. This, in terms of how often they are working that loop against each other, it's getting ridiculous now. All of which is to say that, my God, it just feels like they've pumped the brakes on this guy. And yet, circumstances dictated that it was going to be a little bit messy, but it's been such a poor follow-up, and you get the feeling of, well, is Bron Breakker good or not? Am I meant to invest in him or not? And here's another, I'm going to get in front of a counter-argument, because a lot of people were online going, all right, cool, well, I was kind of into top heel Bron Breakker, but we've gone back to Jey Uso, having a little melodrama again. Great. But then perhaps to sort of calm those fires and those suspicions, was it WrestleVotes or one of the pipe organs who said something along the lines of, don't be an idiot, Bron Breakker's still going to be a massive star, they've just got a time and a place when they're going to execute it, right? Exhibit A, in terms of, you're talking bullshit, Michael Sidgwick versus you're talking 2025. This is an aggregation from, I believe it's called WrestlingNewsSource.com, and it aggregates a report in May 2025 from WrestleVotes Radio. Would you like for me to read?
Please.
Yeah.
Report? On WrestleVotes Radio, it was stated, we are told the company as a whole, each and every one of them, the roster, management, the decision makers, the kingmakers. I'll start again. It was stated, we are told the company as a whole has been thrilled with the recent performances of Natty Neidhart, who competed in Bloodsport over WrestleMania weekend, once again worked outside the company this past weekend, appearing in the prized NWA Crockett Cup. What is it, 1986? Prized. You're taking the piss. Where she did blah, 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 blah. Those we spoke to said that the match absolutely stole the show and was a testament to Natty's recent work. Additionally, there was some significant high praise coming out of Monday's three-way match with Natty, Roxanne Perez, and Becky Lynch, as that the match was very well received backstage. Where's Natalya? See, I don't know. Where's Natalya?
I don't care. But, yeah.
But where is she and what's she been doing? What's been her... Impressed with the great Natalya, new lease of life. And that's great, because not only has she got all that veteran experience and all that seniority, all that, she passes all the big match pressure tests. It's Natalya. But she's got a new lease of life and a new identity, a new persona, a new skill set, a new philosophy, a new style. We're off to the races with Natalya Neidhart. Where's she been the last 3 months? Seriously. I do not know what she's been up to. You'd think in May 2025, because WWE's putting it out into state media, that she's getting the big push. Like that second chapter of her career. So when they tell me, don't worry, dickhead, you little moaning bitch, we're going to pull the trigger on Bron Breakker just when you least expect it. Well, my goddamn good and ready. How can I believe it? You've completely killed your credibility. So all I see is a botched push, and he was actually more over before he joined the Vision.
Well, he's basically number one contender now. That's what they said with the LA Knight match.
Yeah, but I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to hold my hands up when it happens, but they haven't done a particularly good job. The promotional muscle machine of Bron Breakker feels like the absolute next best thing. It feels like they've stalled on him all year. And I said from the start,
I liked him and Seth. I think this misses Seth Rollins.
I'm podcasting with the wrong people. Can we just talk about some bullshit instead? I don't know, talking about a guy with 5 dicks or whatever. I'm podcasting with the wrong people. I really am. In terms of our sensibilities here.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have joined the Vision. He was way more over before he joined the Vision. He's been in this... I don't really care anymore. He's been in this going to be the next big thing stasis for pretty much over a year at this point.
Mm-hmm. Which is dangerous when it gets too long.
Is he the big thing? It's been a year of this.
I thought he had a really good showcase tonight.
I think it was pointed when
I thought he had a mediocre match with LA Knight.
I thought it was notable when they sent him out there with a world title slapped over his shoulder that he had to give back to Adam Pearce. I understand the optics of just giving a belt back and all that kind of thing, but they don't just let anybody sling the world title over. So they want people to have a look at it. It's that's a historic company thing as well. And the whole point of that is to be how does everybody feel about this? And everybody, I'm not speaking for everybody, I felt pretty good. I saw the belt slung over his shoulder. I was like, that's coming soon. That's really cool. That to me is natural growth from Intercontinental Champion last year, loses at WrestleMania, embarks on next sort of chapter. If you work WWE year to year, they like you to do that, WrestleMania to WrestleMania. I would consider this WrestleMania, it's still 6 months away, but I would say by the time we're at WrestleMania 42, if we can look at 41 and say, right, he lost the IC title there, where are we now? My gut feeling is still that he's in a better position than where he was.
We'll see.
The journey continues. I don't know. I don't love this. I don't love this current, this follow-on from the turn. I haven't enjoyed it at all.
I think what we all loved was the video package on Asuka next, though. Just taking the boot into Goldberg, being pretty class, isn't she? Remember her undefeated streak? Talking about 10 years with the company.
Has he been mouthing off about Asuka again?
Oh, yeah.
He said... some girl.
Yeah, some girl.
They had some girl beat the amount of days.
I remember it years ago when he had a pop at that.
Yeah. He's doing it again.
Triple H was okay, fair enough. Well, she's 114-day undefeated streak, Royal Rumble winner, Money in the Bank winner, Elimination Chamber winner, 4-time tag team champion, 5-time women's champion. Pretty class, actually.
It was 11 years after that run?
Yeah.
Asuka, when did she debut? 2015. Mm-hmm. 11 years after the Goldberg WWE run. Obviously, they're not going to push a woman like that between those intervening years. But if they were so desperate to get revenge on Goldberg, They would have just given a bloke it.
Yeah. They put the belt, Goldberg left the same night as Brock Lesnar. They put the belt on Randy Orton 4 months later in order to take Lesnar's age record off him.
Yeah.
That's them being cynical.
We see the Judgment Day in Adam Pearce's office. He's like, where's Dominic Mysterio? I don't know. But JD's like, I think we should have our tag title rematch tonight. And Pearce is like, you're already busy. Do you not remember what happened last week when you took Sheamus out of the Battle Royal? He wants to kick one. He races. And Finn was yet again sensational. He was like, JD was like, I'll kick his ass. And Finn was like, yes. And then when we've won, we'll be back in it. And Balor's like, yeah. And we want a tag title shot. Let's go and watch JD get his head caved in.
Finn Balor being thrilled that JD McDonough was willing to have the match. Like the relief that washed over him. I enjoyed it a lot. Finn Balor. Never imagined myself a Finn Balor guy after.
I'm a bit of a Balor guy.
After the brief love of him in 2015 with the entrance and the presentation of that character, and a long gap of nothing.
And a long gap of absolutely nothing at all.
Yeah, kind of a Finn Balor guy.
And then we got Roxanne Perez versus Nikki Bella.
She got a rocked in the first 2 minutes.
I was about to say, what happened here? So
X got thrown, didn't it?
Perez, just like a faux worship of Nikki Bella. She's like, just proper slaps her. And then Roxanne does the whole whoa, and you're like, okay. And then it was Jessica Cole, wasn't it? It was like, everything all right? We good? But apparently they got through it.
On, yeah.
But yeah, Nikki Bella handed her a ass until Raquel basically got involved as they go back in. So she chucked Perez around ringside. They go back in. Nikki goes up top, and Raquel knocked her off, and Roxanne sent her throat first into the middle rope as we go to a break. When we come back, Perez hits that awesome double jump moonsault off the middle rope for a 2 count, goes after the neck, does push-ups to taunt her. Funny always. But Bella comes back, double legs Perez, hits a boot, sends Perez's face into the mat, hits a disaster kick for 2. Once Rack Attack 2.0, Perez counters with a sleeper. Bella hit a spine buster for a near fall. Raquel jumps up on the apron. Bella knocks her down. She goes for a charge in the corner, but Perez moves, and Nikki Bella hits the middle turnbuckle, jars her neck, and then gets hit with a pop rocks by Roxanne Perez for the 1-2-3. Post-match, Raquel gets in, drops Bella. Stephanie Vaquer makes the save, and there's a nice stare down. She looks huge next to Stephanie Vaquer, between Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez. And Nikki Bella pops up and like, I'll have a bit as well, actually.
That post-match was cool, I thought, because, illustrate that size difference, because that's going to be a singles match. Stephanie Vaquer showing absolutely no fear for the eventual showdown that they might now have. They leave that lingering moment in the ring where Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquer is there, and you're like, is she just going to close on her out of her shoes here? What's and that the fact that you think that now, because it's happening down the line, makes the division feel like alive and healthy and all that. I've enjoyed this podcast because it is really making me assess why my biases are in place the way they are. Roxanne Perez is somebody I love, but she's kind of and they booked her as such because she just feels like she loses more than she wins. And I was really pleased for her to get the win here because she's kind of booked as and is. She's like the wrestler's wrestler, isn't she? That's what she does. She goes out there. She can.
Was it most matches this year?
Yeah, and they mention that quite a bit. And she
not most wins.
Not by a long chalk. And then when we're watching analytically, you kind of know sometimes when you're watching a carry job, and there's been a few of them, and that feeds into the fact that she's a prodigy because she's so young to be having the matches where she's thrown in there to do the carry jobs. It's a lot of that in AEW. And a lot of wrestlers wrestle. Too many, for my tastes. And I don't know what it is. I can't, I'm trying to assess what it is that, makes me connect to Roxanne Perez in a way where I don't, because she's a gift. And Dynamite,
I might have one answer for you here.
Dynamite is full of, all my own knowledge of my own biases aside, Dynamite is typically full of Roxanne Perez's in terms of what they are almost guaranteed to offer you. And I don't know, I continue. I hope she's booked on every Raw, and I look forward to her match in spite of very obvious criticism to levy at me for not wanting to watch Kyle O'Reilly. Claudio, it's just...
This might be a small part of it. I thought Wade Barrett did a magnificent job on commentary, explaining to the audience. His job was, here's why she's not winning that many matches. Here's why, but it will change. Almost guaranteed to change. Invest in this character. I thought Wade Barrett was magnificent. And in fact, I don't feel like I praised that dude enough.
He's very good.
So much of wrestling commentary, and it's not really fair to some of the individuals who are actually really good at their job, has been piss poor to a generational extent over the last century, with some bright spots few and far between. That I think a lot of us have experienced that same phenomenon. You'll have heard, just tune out WWE commentary. A lot of people have done it. If you pay attention to Wade Barrett, he's magnificent at his job.
He's the best partner for Tess as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're a good partnership.
I will say that Barrett adds much needed credibility to that booth. Joe Tessitore, has developed this habit, and I actually listened to the commentary last night, this morning. He has developed a habit of overselling. After every match, he was like doing cartwheels, and obviously he can't say it. That was bang average, actually. But he's got to rein it in. It's
because he can't bring himself down. I know he can't moderate it still, so he goes hi, like Kabuki Warriors coming at the end. What a match! And now Asuka and Kairi Sane are really messing things up here. That was a bit weird. Like you've got to.
I don't think
Solomon.
You've got to maintain now.
I would describe Tessitore as passable. Barrett is sensational. Between the two of them, they're a very good team, very good booth. I had a good time with this match. I had a really good time with this match. It wasn't just that, like, for my tastes, when I get a little bit of stiff action, this is good. Bit of me, this. So you got that early. So it was like a good inadvertent tone setter, I feel like. But throughout the match, like, there's a viciousness, like a nastiness. There was a sense of struggle. Like, I know those memes because, like, Nikki Bella would probably have a better forearm than the vast majority of the divas she worked alongside. And it was like, how am I doing, boss? And it would be Masawa up in the clouds. Like, that was always, like, quite funny. But, like, Nikki Bella's always got it in a way. And this is a nice demonstration of her getting it. And that's felt a bit vicious and nasty, this one. I really quite enjoyed it. It was my favourite match of the show.
If they can make it to WrestleMania with this match as hot as it could potentially be, I really want them to run with Roxanne Perez versus Liv Morgan, no titles, all story. But if you think about how WWE's booked in the past...
Custody of Dominic?
Custody of Dominic, if you want. But Roxanne Perez was the very, very game runner-up in last year's Royal Rumble and had another good Rumble the year before that. So I wonder if...
Was she in the chamber? She was really good in the chamber, wasn't she?
I wonder if we should start looking at her as like a dark horse to win the Royal Rumble, because also she can be inserted in a title match and it can feel earned and justified, and it can get you excited about like a high-quality match on that card. For me, it's a women's match that has tons of story and stands to be pretty great, so I'd rather not have the belt in it. But I could see the argument for Roxanne Perez winning the Rumble.
I think, I can see that. I don't think it's going to happen. The Women's Rumble's forming more in my mind on a weekly basis, especially now like Jay Cargill's turning heel. I'm like, maybe Bianca Belair wins it or whatever. But I could easily see the spot where like Dom's not heel, but he's not his woman, but he's helping Roxanne Perez because she's been there for him.
In the ringside in the Rumble.
Yeah, Roxanne gets knocked off the apron and he catches her, like just to stop her from hitting the floor. And then 3, 2, 1, Liv Morgan comes out and he's like, oh no!
It'd be incredible. Like
it should be story. Probably art, to be fair. Storyboarding all of this, like as we speak. It's weird. What's Levesque's? You've got a better memory for this than me. This crap just washes over me 9 times out of 10. What's Levesque's take on? Vince would always get like slaughtered by the IWC. I hate that so much, bro. For like, give Goldberg Lesnar the belt. For WrestleMania 33, it's the biggest match in it. He would have the sensibility of, and to a degree, I kind of got it, of like, yeah, it's big without it, but imagine how bigger it is with it. He was always like, I'm a promoter. I need to make the match as big as possible.
Kind of ruthless in the face of like reasonable salient arguments. Like both can be right in terms of
like Punk 2013. It's like, well, if I have a title defense and I know needs a title, I've already done it last year without the title. It needs to be as big as possible. I'm a promoter. I need to promote something massive. What's Levesque like? I'm just thinking about whether this would get the title and whether it should.
I could see his alternative being something like Vaquer versus Rhea Ripley, which might swing him as well.
Yeah.
Seems like
that Rhea Ripley character has a hold on him / he really wants to use that as the like Rhea Ripley and the Judgment Day, and probably Dominic Mysterio, he looks at that as like, because he can't lay claim to all the bloodline, can he?
No.
The Judgment Day,
yeah,
that's his, you know. Yeah, the triple threat is probably an example where he kind of
risky. Triple threats aren't very good at it.
Like Bianca Belair's story wasn't really with those two, and that was evident by the pretty terrible storyline. But they were like, well, yeah, but she's class. So let's make that match for the belt.
How did that match turn out?
Well, it turned out excellent. Well, we're not in an argument with one another, sir. But like, just trying to like give an example of how like you saw that the money was in the belt, and Bianca Belair still chasing that belt, even though the story was over here with Naomi and Jade. So I don't know. Mixed, I would say. Mixed. Like Gunther is another character that like they're almost dirty words, aren't they? Doesn't need.
Yeah.
But he likes his belt on Gunther.
Yeah.
Like he still likes to put those two things together.
But yeah, a disappointing loss for Nikki Bella, losing to Roxanne Perez. Obviously wants to keep her name in that title picture despite her friendship with Stephanie Vaquer. But maybe she can take solace in the new feature that we're sort of bringing back, but bringing
the trial.
Yeah, trialing.
Pilot episode.
And that is this week's Gooner Comment of the Week.
So trial.
Just looking online today about people's
recreationally or for your notes?
A bit of both. People's doubts on Monday Night Raw, and there was a picture of Nikki Bella.
Get your attention?
Yeah.
Well, describe the picture.
It wasn't quite mid-match. It was maybe just before the match, the bell rang, and you just think, the visuals of pro wrestling sometimes just present yourself with certain indelible images. And someone else who saw this picture of Nikki Bella and
was it like a portrait, like front facing?
Not front facing.
Right.
No.
Okay. I'm just trying to paint a vivid picture for the audience. You seem a little bit sheepish.
How's that VPN working out for you?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Someone else who shared, their thoughts on Nikki Bella, not regarding the match, was Uncle Fap. It's good. Who I really love the caveat on this. Right, so yep. She's hot. No doubt about it. I wouldn't mind waking up beside her for a week or two.
Just discards like a bit of trash.
Come on.
You still around?
We've had Halloween.
I love how Uncle Fap, an anonymous internet gooner, wouldn't be like, in reality, if this ever happened in his life through some incredibly improbable quirk of fate, somehow ended up bedding hot toddy Nikki Bella, wouldn't be like locking her in the basement just in case she tried to escape or like, changed her mind or whatever.
Oh, you still here?
Uncle Fap getting bored of Nikki Bella after a week, maybe two.
Yeah, you 14 days at a push.
What are you expecting, love? I wasn't going to make you anti-Fap. Goodbye. Get your things.
So let us know if you enjoyed. Good comment of the week.
Fap.
Maybe we'll do it again.
I think this is a good way back into something. Let's face it, we
normally have to wait for Christmas for.
Yeah.
Just will you be able to find more comments next time?
I don't know. I'll try my hardest.
You never know. I bet you will, you dirty old bollocks.
Right. Lyra Valkyria runs into the Kabuki Warriors backstage.
Writes a test.
Lyra runs into the Kabuki Warriors backstage. Asuka's like, we should be in that tag title match. You cut the queue. Lyra's like, I had nothing to do with this. It was literally a video they showed of Bayley calling out the tag team champions, by the way. Asuka screams in Japanese and walks away. Kairi tries to say something, and you just hear Kairi from Asuka. Bayley pops up. Happy Bayley. What's going on, Lyra? Oh. She's like, don't worry about them. I bought you a matching jacket. Lyra's like, kind of a big deal, this. I've literally never been in the ring with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Women's tag team titles mean a lot to Bayley. She knows Lyra would like to rewrite some history. They're in the main event tonight. And Bayley's like, but then again, what happens to you if we lose? And Lyra flips it on his head and says, hey, what happens if we win, though? Bayley loves it. They do a special handshake. I'm really into this story.
Me too. But did WWE try and hang a lampshade over something that they promised that ultimately didn't deliver? Because she throws the jacket at Lyra, and Lyra's like, is that a surprise? And Bayley said, surprise, the tag title match, and then just moved fast, straight onto another subject as quick as she could. It was like, Dumb idiots won't remember that we promised them a surprise. 2 surprises in a way. One you already knew about and a jacket.
Don't imagine his matching jacket.
And she's correct because was this on last week's Raw?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
Just like, is this a surprise? It just falls off her shoulder as they're talking. Yeah, I quite like him.
Yeah.
Bit of daft bollocks in it.
Yeah.
We'll get back to this in the main event. But then Jey Uso runs into Jimmy Uso. Jimmy's not happy, obviously, with what happened last week. As we saw on SmackDown, Big Jim says, it's just you now, is it? You don't give a damn what my brother thinks. I saved you 2 times in that battle royal, and then the moment it's your turn to help me, throw me out. Jey, I quite like Jay's sort of sheepish, I was trying to throw out LA Knight, just a desperate attempt at maybe he doesn't remember what happened. Jim was like, no, I watched what happened.
Jimmy watched the tape. I was trying to avoid helping either of you. Took me ages to get there.
You saved Euronymous last week. I thought it was meant to be us 2 as the final 2. Then it'd be every man for themselves. But you thought about yourself like you always do. I think you were scared. Basically, he said, I think you were scared if it came down between the 2 of us that you wouldn't have been able to hang.
It was another one of these, wasn't it?
Yeah, do you want me to do the other one?
Yes, please, yeah.
Because later on, we see Jimmy go up to Jey, who's contemplating what the conversation was earlier. Jey loves Jimmy. Nothing's ever going to change that. Jey said it himself last week. If he had the opportunity, he'd throw Jey over the top rope. But, you know, why before the biggest match of his career would Big Jim think that his own brother would betray him? Jey's got a lot on his plate. Roman Reigns, The Vision, CM Punk. He hasn't got a lot of real estate left. You feel me? Jimmy says yes, and they shake hands.
We came back from that second segment, where, by the way, there was not a single development in the middle of them that would change either of their minds. Just
thinking time.
Raw happening in thinking time. And I can't remember if it was Wade or Tess, the words are specifically, like, something along the lines of, that's weird that Jay's randomly figured out how to get through to Jimmy there. They were implying like a little bit of manipulation. And I absolutely love that in Jimmy Uso, they found the only character in WWE that Jey Uso could use mind control over.
Like the second and the thickest people.
Yeah, they played it like a sort of Roman Reigns, like really how he was able to gaslight basically entire audiences through the ones up. He's like mega brain, different level. That's how he runs the bloodline. That's how he's going to get all these people doing his bidding and that kind of thing. Jey Uso can kind of only manage it with his shoot twin. Like, Thickos! I love him.
Who just had his head caved in by Drew on Friday, by the way.
Love the Usos, me, but a couple of dafties, aren't they? Like, that's how this can make a lick of sense. While neither of them acknowledge, by the way, that they've had a WrestleMania match. So, like, when they're talking about, like,
don't reference
it's going to come down to me versus you. Yep, happened. Like,
Bad.
Feuding again, and the idea that a sequel is like a threat.
Yeah.
It is a threat. Look, I'm not going to talk about this.
Well, Jey was trying to get Jimmy to help him, isn't he? Because hand against Punk, mate. Like, so he's trying to think like Roman, but that's the problem. He becomes a little Roman and it all falls apart again. I get it. I am sick of it. Can you put them together as nice old baby faces and give them the belts if you want? And I'm beat everyone. Give them the alcoholic tag run for all I care. But like, I'm just really struggling. I like Big Jim.
Yeah, I love Big Jim on Friday.
As a singles guy, clown, but fun. Like this stuff. This peaked with Gunther bloodying him up before WrestleMania.
That was good.
This was when you can make the most of these two as like they're being like emotional turmoil and stuff. The rest of it,
you know what I'm thinking. So
then we got Bron Breakker versus
kind of like the Usos in a way.
Yeah,
L.A. Polite.
Yeah. Oh no.
And this is the bit with Knight grabbing the "We want L.A. Knight, not Jay" sign as he was walking to the ring. Wade Barrett laying out the fact that whoever loses this match is miles out of the picture for a title shot following this.
Politically, what's going on there? Because they used the one wrestler that got a bit of a kick in on Unreal when otherwise the perfect genius factory that never gets anything wrong, starring Triple H, Michael Hayes and God, was Jey Uso because he didn't have his wind and he was botching the dives and the parking attendant didn't know who he was and all that kind of stuff. Like, oh, this big idiot. Like, nothing happens without control. And there's all these dislikes on the YouTube videos and Unreal's never not getting filmed and LA Knight's holding a sign up on camera that feels suspiciously placed for him doing his entrance. Like, is there like a company mandate like you're permitted to bury one wrestler to make the creative team look bad and it's Jey Uso? Like, I don't know, like, it just feels like it's setting up another episode of Unreal, and I'm still bloody having to push this bloody idiot. You're in control. It's like your point about when, like, Tony Khan says, yeah, Britt Baker and Chris Jericho are great, and I can't wait to see them again. You're their boss? Tell them to come to work. Like, they're just like, they could not push James, so if they were that sick of him, it's their choice.
It is odd.
Yeah.
It is odd. It's a good take, that. It's odd. He's just so fundamentally useless at his job that it just seeps through the cracks. This contempt and this disdain and this scorn.
I think it's like everybody in that room that you see on Unreal, all of them, like to a man at this point. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. And then like Nick Khan just walks in with a graph, which is like Yeet t-shirt sales.
Bron Breakker is still just a freak. There's a bit in this match. Knight gets a bit of early offense, and then Bron goes into like hyper speed. He hits the ropes, and then he seems to sort of double speed in the steps between hitting the other set of ropes.
He's doing it in one less than he used to.
It's amazing.
That's why it looks like a magic trick, because it used to take him 2
blur.
goes.
He is ridiculously good.
Knight comes back with a crossbody. There's a sunset flip in there for a 2 count. Running knee. That takes us to a break. When we come back, Bron hits an avalanche knee in the corner. Suplexes Knight over the ropes to the floor. Runs around the ring and hits that awesome flying tackle of his. Knight fights out of a chin lock, hit a flying clothesline, caught Breaker with a jumping neck breaker, pop-up power slam and a jumping elbow. Wants the BFT, but Breaker escapes and hits a knee. He goes to that top rope Frankensteiner, and Knight slips out, and Breaker just eats it. I don't know what they were trying to go for there, but it was a rough old spill for Bron Breakker. Knight goes for the superplex. Breaker pushes him down. Knight does that cool run up the ropes thing. Suplexes Bron off the top rope for a near fall. Wants the BFT again. Breaker escapes. Bronson Reed distracts. Bron wants the spear, but Knight moves at the last second, and Bron just posts himself. Knight goes after Reed on the floor, smashes Breaker into the commentator's table. Back in the ring, Breaker wants a gorilla press. Knight escapes, reverse DDT, goes up top for an elbow, and then Breaker he's a freak. Kips up as LA Knight is jumping off the top rope. Knight rolls through, turns around, huge spear, Bron Breakker 1, 2, 3.
I don't want to come across like a miserable bastard here, because I loved the big, shining, luminous moments of this match. The one, like
that's why I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but like Baggy, there is no shame in sometimes leaning in at what these two are a great example of it as well. What they do really, really well that can be illustrated in 5 minutes over 15 or whatever this went, because like not everything has to have the connective tissue. And I'm sorry that there's not like an exacting standard that everybody needs to be set to, because there isn't a rule book. Like different wrestlers require different things, different needs. Like loath as I sometimes am to put him over for much, but Vince Russo understood that for his method of trying to get mid-carders over, like Crash TV could be a benefit, because they get out there, it's white hot. Who's an example? Billy Gunn doesn't expose himself to what he can't do, and then they're out of there. These are superior to Billy Gunn on his best day, in my opinion. But there's still too much of them. There's still too, this didn't need the commercial break. This didn't need the slow it down again to speed it back up. You could have gone bang, 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 and everybody would be still jumping like doing backflips over how cool the Bron Breakker bits were and how awesome LA Knight looked in flashes. Honestly, man, wrestling needs to have a word with itself and cheer up and just it is okay. You gotta be judicious. It's a job of somebody that's a booker or somebody that is in charge of creative to just highlight the guys that deserve the highlighting in the fashion that these two would, and then lift off what doesn't work. And likewise, it cuts both ways. Roxanne Perez got out there and have 10-12 and show them what you can do through the whole match. This wasn't necessary. The length of this and the stuff where it had to slow down to speed it back up was not necessary, because the highs were extremely high, and then you're boring again, and then up again and boring again.
I'm not saying it's not a salient take. It very much is. It's very salient, but it's same words, different order. What we've been saying about Bron Breakker. When did he debut?
2021.
4 years. This is why I don't think he's what's the phrase you coined there? The word
I've already forgotten it. Unfumbleable.
Unfumbleable.
But do you remember the turgid 2006 that Batista had, like the summer with Booker T. And they're like, he ain't never going to get it. And then of all people, the dead man brought it out of him.
Dead man brought it
kind of
back
taught him
out.
how to work again
Yeah.
after he seemingly forgot.
So what you're saying
Braun's
is...
got some history with him as well, yeah.
What you're saying is it should be Undertaker versus Braun Breaker.
Maybe.
Oh my God.
I've heard they ain't putting us on last, kid. We're going to have to make him pay for that. I kind of turned Batista into a super worker for a bit. Like that.
That might be the match. There's probably others where I'm watching it with no expectations. It's 2007. I'm very much in my... Yeah, I know he's just new, but CM Punk should be main eventing this. That kind of brain. So I wasn't like predisposed to thinking Batista and The Undertaker were going to blow my tits off. That match is unbelievable.
That's, you mean, your noises. That's a screamer of a
Oh,
match.
it is. It's a total screamer.
So good. Right. Bad news.
That had no fat on it whatsoever.
No.
Bad news, guys, because Adam Pearce catches up with Dominic Mysterio, who just so happens to be chatting to Los Americanos and El Grande Americano. He's like, "You all right, Dom?" Dom's like, "Yeah, Dominic Mysterio is sensational." Yeah, I was just saying to them, I don't know why on earth they stuck their nose in Penta and Rusev's business, because, I mean, now they're going to be after them, aren't they? It's just really ruined that match, and I was disappointed. It's like we doing. He's like, I'll tell you right now, Penta and Rusev aren't coming after them because they're coming after you, because I'm booking, and I can't believe this, his plan was foiled, a triple threat match between Dominic, Penta and Rusev for Saturday night's main event, and in a last second Hail Mary, Dominic Mysterio goes, "No hablo inglés." Brilliant.
Yeah, very funny. He's
audibly laughed out loud at "No hablo inglés."
That was good.
and anybody can be botched, but he feels like he's in a bit that rarefied air. Dominic Mysterio for me.
He's more likely to successfully, I mean, it's WrestleMania, it's a brand, he can't talk about it commercially, to artistically, successfully headline WrestleMania than Braun Breaker for me.
I get it. It's funny that he lifted the IC title off him as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he kind of allows them to be on the same trajectory.
I'm just worried about Dominic Mysterio getting DQ'd, I suppose, at Saturday night's main event in the triple threat.
It's all perfectly legal, Cole.
That card's weird because I need the outcomes of them all, but I'm not interested in many of the fooheads.
I'm really looking forward to Saturday.
I can't. It's got me on the hook for a lot
Fascinating,
of
isn't it?
things, but the programs themselves are not the strongest.
I can't wait for us, all three of us, to talk about it on Monday.
Oh, God.
Sorry, buddy.
It's on YouTube with all the ads as well.
I think it's on Netty actually.
It's not.
Is it not?
The last one wasn't. Was it?
Or maybe the Cena one's. I've read somewhere that a Saturday night's main event is moving to Netflix internationally. Might be the Cena one though.
That'd be better.
Last day Charlie's half term, and I've got to see if there's anything on at the cinema that isn't one of them
Bad Guys 2?
wretched half term kids selections.
One battle after another.
Is it 15?
You can't.
No, I can't. Right, okay.
There's
I love the question.
He loves the cinema, so like,
Yeah.
like he's like, he kind of. What was it we saw this
I
year?
recommend The Smashing Machine.
Jurassic Park. He was big in it. I was a 12, and he was buzzing to go to a 12.
there's like
12A in it. It's like,
Yeah.
there's like sex stuff in one battle after another.
nice. I want to go check this out.
Sex stuff for the bad guys too.
There's
Coach.
sex stuff in one battle after another, mainly confined at the start.
Just getting there 15 minutes late.
It's not like, no, it is violent. It's not like Tarantino level violent, but there's some violent bits in it. You can't take a child to see it.
No, I won't.
Because we're from the days of, there was no 12A in our day, was there? It was
Just
12.
Yep.
So like if you were a 10, 11-year-old, you couldn't go. 12A, obviously, if you don't know, I don't know if they have it in America, because have they got the same certification? Regardless,
Yeah.
you can go and watch a film if you're under the age of 12 if a parent or guardian is coming with you.
Yeah.
But I distinctly remember it was either a 12 or a 15 we were going to go and see on like, what was it, Orange Wednesdays. And like, we'd all, right, okay, come on, put our heads together. Don't have your birthday be yesterday, but have it be like a month or so ago. So you're like quite young looking for either 12 to 15-year-old or whatever. But, you can get by and just say, I haven't got any ID, because we wouldn't have had ID then.
Yeah,
It's just
what do you have?
At that point, they're just like, who cares? We went in. going down the line here. Fine. My mate Jake, when's your birthday? And he just said the date and the month. And they were like, what year? And he literally was like, oh, you're all out. You've ruined it, thanks.
I watched Terminator 2 Judgment Day when I was like 8.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of them, like, it was like video shop stuff that, like, people would rent out because they'd heard about it at school, and you're thinking, what? Like, I've never watched it as an adult, but I know for a fact I saw Predator around that same time.
You haven't watched it as an adult?
Nah.
Even I've watched that.
Yeah, you know, it's action movie thing, isn't it? It's just like, I drift a bit.
It's got a wrestler in it.
I know.
That's what I'm going to say.
I do love the Running Man, and it's not just because of Jesse Ventura, but like the
New one of them coming out.
Watch it as an adult. Predator's class, man.
I'll give it a look.
I mean, can you not remember the physiques?
No, I know it's
Arnie's best physique.
Yeah. I'm not
Or there's
really
a
an Arnie
TV
guy.
show you could watch instead, To Catch a Predator. That's kind of the
I
same.
love that.
Arnie's physique, though. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. The guy is massive, but like, this will help you. You know, we've got a thing about olden days WWF, and it's like 2 years past our entry point into it. The Dick Ebersol glistening muscles era of the Fed, where it's actually after WrestleMania 3, but WrestleMania 5 is probably a bit bigger in its own way. And those are the physiques we're talking.
Nice.
Those are the physiques we're talking.
Speaking of hard hitting, JD McDonough versus Sheamus.
I forgot about this.
They kicked each other's asses here.
For what reason?
I knew you wouldn't have liked this.
Nah, I bet when he's like, hit me, and then he kicks me. I've got the boot, still hit me. Just go and join the fucking Death Riders if you want to get slapped about. So honestly, like, Sheamus, like, you missed.
I like the
Claudio,
body
I
drop
get it,
early,
like,
the backdrop that he did to JD, where he like touched the ceiling basically.
I landed on the most like kind of random selection of I want to watch a bit of Comfort Fed the other night, and I don't know what I saw.
You made notes for this.
Sorry, Super Showdown 2018, the Australia card. Triple H versus The Undertaker won last time.
Way.
It's just, that's all right. I was like, what?
That back body drop was brilliant.
Yeah, because
By which I mean terrible.
You remember the terrible stuff. John Cena unleashed the Lightning Fist for the first time. Iconics and Buddy Matthews had the big night there and whatever.
Sorry, when you get into the terrible stuff, sorry?
I wanted to remind myself for the undercard and the bar. Can we just have the bar? They came out doing that with their kilts and their sunglasses and their entrance with the light on it, and it was just like, everybody was happy, were they not? Because they looked pretty happy. Everybody stopped saying, like, push zero. Because, like, way.
People love showing that clip of the fake tag. To
Yeah.
end the,
Yeah.
AEW, WWE, I don't care. Get them back together. Let them be a tag team. It'd be good for whichever division. Because they
TNA?
I want to watch them. Like, yeah. Find a way to put the bar back together, and I think everybody would be happy. Like,
Yeah, that's a good solution.
Everyone would get. He can hit hard in his little tag matches.
I'm not one of these.
Zara can lose his teeth. Sorry, Wilbourn. Like,
I'm not one. You've done the notes. I'll talk about the match after you run through it for the viewers. Come, listeners.
They hit each other really hard. I'll cliff notes it. They hit each other really hard. There was a nice spot where McDonough, after a break, had him in a chin lock, and they just spilled to the outside with it all still going on. McDonough, I still like his Asai moonsault that he does. He also hit a 450 splash for a near fall.
If I like hot moves like that, you should watch AEW.
Should. Stories. But stories. McDonough, yeah, this was the bit where he's like, Sheamus just took his head off. Finn tries to get involved at one point. Oh, no, he does. He puts JD's foot on the ropes. Sheamus goes out after him. There's a tease of a shillelagh spot. And then they get back in the ring. Sheamus goes up top, and as the referee's busy with JD, Balor twats him with a shillelagh. And Sheamus gets hit with a Spanish fly off the top rope for the 1, 2, 3. And Wade was, again, brilliant on commentary here, talking about how big a win this was for JD.
I mean, it had a purpose in that they want to heat up JD and Finn for the rematch and whatever. And I'm looking forward to that because the first tag last week was really good. So I get it, but at the same time, maybe the timing wasn't right to do this match. Like, JD McDonough, who I think is a knobhead, has got, like, a certain charm, almost certainly the wrong word, when he's in a tag and he's bumping around and he's just getting kind of blown away, ready for his da to come in and fighters' battles for him, and he's well cast in the Judgment Day. It's this, he's got a horrible face, little ratty bastard, and he's good getting his ass kicked. Like, doing this match at this time, I thought was an actual poor booking choice. Like, going strike for strike with Big Shamo. Like, having the little friggin' 2018 super indie match, but, like, shortened, hitting each other hard. I'm like, if I want to see Sheamus versus JD McDonough, and I don't really, but if I do, I want to see JD be a little bitch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just thought the timing to do this in this way was wrong.
I don't like Sheamus's character.
I'm getting real bored of Sheamus.
Oof. Oh, fighty.
Oaf's a great word.
Fighty oaf. That's what he is. Every generation's had oafs. WWE Duggan was an oaf. You know, like the different brands of oaf, but fundamentally they just kick around backstage, and you got to send them out there, and it doesn't matter if they win, it doesn't matter if they lose.
Buzzsaw Jim Duggan. Because he kicks hard, but he's an oaf.
Yes. I'll get him next week. Like that's what you imagine. If he loses, I'll get him next week. If he wins, like, just don't care. He's got one thing to do, and that's win the IC title. And I seem to have forgotten about that.
Yeah, it's the end of the year. Reach the end of the road.
5-year AW contract.
Joins the Death Riders.
Very excited to see Maxime Dupri
Wins on Collision. About 3 weeks.
chatting with Adam
He
Pearce.
loses on Dynamite.
He wants to give her another
And
shot.
I say it's quite boring on a podcast, and everyone tells me off, and then in 3 weeks, 3 months after that, everyone realizes I was correct.
Yeah.
It's my life.
He wants to give her another shot at the women's IC title. She's very appreciative, but she doesn't want to waste this opportunity. Using it now, she wants to reach out to a friend to confirm she's truly prepared. Chad Gable tease?
Possibly.
Maybe.
AJ Lee. Otis.
Natalia.
Pay off your reporting from 7 months ago, Sitch.
It's not my report, though.
And he says, yeah, just let me know whenever you're ready. We'll book the title match.
Yeah.
Good. Then we got a backstage interview with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They're talking about they don't back down from a challenge. All you got to do is ask. Charlotte's like, I can make history tonight. We could make history tonight because they're two victories away from breaking the record for the most successful title defenses as women tag team champions. In come the Kabuki Warriors, who say that Bayley and Lyra don't deserve this opportunity. Neither do Charlotte and Alexa, to be honest. And Charlotte's like, we've got a bit of history, me and you. Asuka. Did everyone in this scene hold tag gold with Asuka at one point?
Alexa Bliss has. Charlotte. Yes, everybody.
They'd be honoured to face the Kabuki Warriors, but Asuka says you're not ready for Asuka.
It's pretty damning that, like, Alexa and Charlotte won the belt at SummerSlam, and they're on course to have the most defences. I know they've used them quite a lot.
They've done a lot of TV defences, haven't they? Yeah.
I like the Kyrie thing with the Brolly as well. Yeah. Before she got Kyrie. What? Kyrie! I'll get you next time.
With my brolly.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Charlotte? I know you're excited to see her.
I was disappointed. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Do your recap because you've written your notes, and I'll tell you why I was disappointed with this match.
Oh, yeah, before we get to the match, this is the thing that you've mentioned it already. The tag title match was set up for next week with AJ and Dragon Lee basically saying, yeah, we'll fight him. And yeah, main event was Lyra Valkyria and Bayley versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. 5th defense for Flair and Bliss. There was a nice moment with the Fireflies as well from the crowd as Alexa was in there. To go to a break, Valkyria kicks Charlotte outside and hits a drop kick. When we come back, Bayley gets the tag and holds Bliss up in a fireman's carry so Lyra could hit a running blockbuster. But Bliss comes back with a double DDT on Bayley and Lyra. Flair gets the hot tag. Woo! Comes off the top of the crossbody. Chops Bayley and Valkyria. Hit that cartwheel clothesline of hers. Dumps both of them with fall-away slams. Hits them with a moonsault. Covers Lyra, but Lyra kicks out at 2. Bayley fires up. She wants a tag. She gets it. She flies in with a knee, hits an elbow off the middle rope to Charlotte, drop kicks Bliss, hits Charlotte with the Bayley to belly, but only got a near fall from it. Charlotte catches Bayley with a boot. Bliss got a blind tag. Lyra comes in, has no idea who's legal, runs straight into a Sister Abigail DDT from Alexa Bliss, but Bayley makes the save at 2. Bayley and Charlotte fight on the floor. Bliss comes off the top of the crossbody on Lyra, but she gets caught, and Lyra brilliantly hits the Nightwing for another near fall as Charlotte makes the save. Then Bayley and Charlotte brawl. Charlotte hits Bayley with a boot. She gets the figure 8 on Bayley, Bayley's about to tap, but Lyra slides in and catches Bayley's arm. And then Bliss, this was an amazing ending. Bliss comes off the top with a twisted Bliss, and there's a little nod between Charlotte and Alexa, and they hit twin natural selections on their opponents. 1, 2, 3. Charlotte and Alexa retain. Post-match, Kabuki Warriors come in and attack, but Bayley saves Lyra, and they just dance up the entrance.
Almost guiltily love this. Like, I can't sit here and pretend it's like the best match I've seen all year.
You don't have a guilty pleasure. Your pleasures are all inherently guilty. So you shouldn't guiltily love anything.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I do just like to enjoy things if I can. And I really enjoyed this. It's not just Asuka, is it? Like, you don't need a video package. Like, Charlotte's had a decade, Bayley's had a decade, Alexa Bliss has had a decade. Like, at this point, these are wrestlers that have just had the most ridiculous trajectories. This is not us paying tribute to The Undertaker after like a decade of destruction. It's like a decade where kind of everything's happened to these people and a lot of it's been terrible. Like, so that when I've got this like really intense sentimental attachment to a lot of these wrestlers when they're having good nights, Bayley in particular, and I kind of feel sad when they don't. That's not a connection with, that's why it's guilty, because it's not necessarily a connection with the fiction at first. It becomes a connection with the real people who want them to have, the old adage of wanting to have good days at work, you know? Yeah. This was that
old adage.
When it was the Vince era. When it was the Vince era, when it was kind of the only positive thing to say with like, well, they had a good week this week on Raw.
Not miserable.
Might not happen next week.
It's just funny to call it an adage.
I suppose, yeah. It's not an adage, but it felt like it. It felt like I was having to use it a lot as, you know, justification for enjoying someone's week. Like, this started like that, and by the end, I was just into the match. I was just into the match. Like, Bayley, again, the good nights are few and far between, unfortunately now, but she still got them in her. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, I continue to enjoy as a tag team. I'm glad they're champions. I'm glad this has happened. I think it's the best role for them.
Keep that till WrestleMania for me.
I want them to be used as an example for wrestlers who still want it and still believe that the main event is something that they're capable of, but like this should serve as something for the creative team to feed to the wrestlers and the wrestlers to feed to the creative team of, look, there are simply only so many spots, but it doesn't mean that you have to like twiddle your thumbs or spin your wheels when this can happen. Mm-hmm. And I think that like they've been a really good example of that this year. If you look at where Charlotte Flair was at on the road to WrestleMania to where we're at today, they've found the fit and it's great. The tag stuff towards the end, I just had a great appreciation for like the two sides both trying to like be the best versions of themselves to win. I bought it. Like there was a couple of really great near falls. Capturing people for her sister Abigail is the spot of the month, isn't it? Because John Cena and Alexa Bliss have done it now to bring the house down. So that's like something that we're going to be sick of in 3 months. But we're in the hot spell for that. A real unexpected confluence of cool stuff that led to like a proper over delivery. To the point about the commentary earlier on, it was Tess going up to 1 million, but I was with him. Like the run-in deflated me too. And again, I'm quite impressed with how the Kabuki Warriors have been phased out of Io and Rhea's stuff into like the tag picture as they've just dropped in. Oh, by the way, they're on par with their breaking a record here. And now the Kabuki Warriors as heels want to stop that and take that. I think a nice booking and a really great match to sort of like, not celebrate it, but you know, like sort of toast all the cool things happening.
I was disappointed with this match because went into it expecting, Charlotte Flair's funny, isn't she? She doesn't hit people with a moonsault. Like she'll kind of roar hysterically when she does nothing. And she was on.
Yeah.
She was on. I mean, I wasn't as high in it as Hamflett. I thought it was really good. Has that WWE tax match, if you like. The work's good. It is good, but it just comes. The bar is lower in the market leader, so these matches probably appear better than they actually are. So I just want to put that out there. But they were on. They were. You could sense it as well in their body language and the sense of momentum that they were generating. Like they were, it's kind of infectious. They were really enjoying it, and then it kind of rubbed off on. It was just one of those like everything clicks matches.
Charlotte clocking that Lyra had her hair trapped in Alexa's gear.
Oh, yeah.
And moving away with Jessica Carter pull focus rather than going, what are you doing, you stupid idiot? As Charlotte might sometimes be prone to do. Like, was a kind of a realization of like, nothing can derail this. Because that could derail something very easily. And sometimes when a match is flowing, nothing can. And that was like a really good example of that.
Well, let us know your thoughts on Raw in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, you can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WE, as I said. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. We'll be back later on today to preview NXT, but for now it's been the Raw review. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.